Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin Timms with REI Network. We've got a special episode today, something that I want to offer to you guys listening, something unique regarding, systems, right? This episode is called I Need Systems, and that's for a reason. In my business, I have systems built out for certain reasons to give me the lifestyle that I want and the way that I want to run the business, okay? Last week, or the last episode that we did was understand why you chose that path. You should go and check that out to actually get an understanding of what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to do. This is really important, and these things can change, right? We talked about it on that episode about understanding, like, you can't just follow someone's path if that's not your vision, right? So for instance, if you're working the 9 till 5 and you have a full-time job, then you're going to have to put certain systems in place to be able to operate this business. And that's kind of what that episode, was about. And now we're going to dive in and talk more about the systems, okay, and what you need. But the unique thing about this episode, as a one-off time, I'm going to be working with a select few people that want to do this. Now, I work, as you probably know, with one-to-one clients. I set their business up, I set their systems up to give them the most success possible of making money. Now, I know a lot of you, sometimes you can't afford that, or you don't need the coaching, but you do need the systems, all right? And that's what I want to offer, something today where we're going to be doing for a select few people, a system setup. Okay, so if you go ineedsystems.com, if you go to ineedsystems.com, check out that page, okay, and that's where you can apply to work directly with me, where I will set everything up. This isn't going to be coaching, this isn't courses, okay, this is all about actually getting you structured to go and make money and get ready for 2021, all right? That's what we're doing. And again, we've not done this. I'm basically taking half of what I do with my one-to-one clients, and we're going to be building the marketing plan, the game plan. We're going to be me and you, or me and your business partners, whatever, on a Zoom call. We're going to hash out what we need. Where are you at? Where are you trying to go? And we're going to set that up, okay? And in the background, we're going to set all the systems up for you, so you can then focus on actually making money. But before we need to do that, I need to understand where you're at, because I can't do this as a group setting because it doesn't work, right? I cannot take someone that works 70 hours a week, someone that's just lost their job, and they want to do the same thing. It doesn't make sense. That's why it has to be tailored individually. So let's talk about what them systems could be. Like how is this even going to work? What is it that you need? And I'm going to give you some examples, about this, because there's people talk about, automation all the time. Automation, delegation, right? They're great words to use, all right? And they're things that every business needs if you're going to grow and expand. And people want to put them things in place, but if you don't have the foundation in place, you cannot, they will not work. If the sequence isn't right, if something isn't working, how can you put automation on, right? Or delegation if it's broken? So that's where a lot of people go wrong, is because they think they can just turn it on and it's just going to work. No, if it didn't work, if the basics aren't right, then that's not going to work, okay? So what I normally do is I break it down, and the first thing that I do is I get to know kind of the person that I'm working with. And you can kind of, I'm going to ask you a few questions here that I want you to start thinking about. You can actually pause this episode and actually think about this before we lead on. But one of the things that I like to do with all my clients is kind of find out where you are now. So what is your situation? What are we dealing with? And sometimes we have to go deep. We have to find out that why. We have to uncover things, just like a motivated seller in the same way of, we have to get to the core problems and say, well, where are you at? All right. And that's the goal, understanding like, well, look, I'm not happy, I work too much, I do this, I make great money, but I don't see the family. Like, whatever it is, we need to understand and be very clear of where you are right now. And once you have that, you then need to think about, where do I want to be? how do I want this to look, right? Do you want 40 people in an office? Do you want multi-million-dollar business, with tons of overhead, tons of marketing going? I have great friends that do that and are very successful. Do you want to be like me? Just got back. I'm actually home, guys, from a 7-week trip. We've been out in Arizona. Which was, had its ups and downs, like I talked about in the last episode. But again, having that ability to travel is really, really important. That's what it is to me. People say, well, what is it? What do you want? Out of life. And for me, it's to do, and sounds so cliche when I say it, right? About financial freedom, but it's to do what I want with who I want when I want. That's what it means to me. I need a business that I can drop at any time. I'm from England. I need to go. Someone's sick in the family, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it did, I need to get back there and things need to happen. I want to be able to travel in an RV. We just did. Over the last 3 months, probably 3.5 months, I've been away for probably 13 weeks of that. So probably over 4 months, about 13 weeks. We were in Michigan, Nashville. We came home for 2 weeks. Then we headed to Arizona. While, still closing, we closed on Maui. We've got 4 more in closing in Alabama. We have a big one, just gone under contract on Monday in Florida. We're working on one in Georgia right now. So we're very active in the business, but I can only do that by having the systems in place, right? And I'm only as good as my team. So it's not just me. It's not just systems, but part of that system is having a good team. So everyone's going to be in different spots. So once you understand where you are, okay, and where you want to be, then we're going to have this gap in the middle, and that's what we need to structure this system and this game plan so we can execute to get there. And it's not going to be easy, right? It's going to be hard, but since when has anyone said that if you're going to be successful in anything you do, that it was easy? Because it isn't. But if you apply yourself, the thing that I always ask clients, and I want you to ask yourself, like, if you had systems, right? If you had a VA cold calling, bringing leads in, if you had an admin to help send out offers for you, okay? If you had a system that would send text messages and emails to cold leads, if you had a system that would track warm and hot leads, okay? If you had these things of text messaging and someone doing it for you, and you could focus on being on the phone, okay, and making offers and following up, what would that do for your business? And that's what I need you to think about, is if you had these things, you've had the training, you've been through all the courses, but why are you not getting anywhere? And it's probably because you're overwhelmed, okay, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to set things up, and you're not actually getting anywhere. That's why we changed the program a couple of years ago now to doing done with you setup in our one-to-one business, one-to-one clients, because I understand that after doing group coaching is great. I'm here to help, here to answer any calls, but it was a common problem that we're week 4 in, week 5, week 6. We still haven't spoken to a seller yet because we're trying to set the CRM up. We're trying to hire a VA. We're trying to get leads coming in, okay? We're trying to figure out what list to pull. How do we skip trace it? How do we run it through the known litigators? There's so many things that you need to do before you even get on the phone. And we know that them things are important to a certain degree, but it's not actually going to make the money. What makes the money is being on the phone, talking to sellers and making offers, okay? And then obviously following up and to get closed deals. So that is why I am offering this. It's going to be a short amount of time. This isn't going to be the new thing. And I'm just trying to get people ready for New Year. So if this is for you, remember, go to ineedsystems.com, ineedsystems.com. We'll get on the phone with me or my team, make sure that we're both a good fit, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm taking what I already do with one-to-one, and it's not going to be coaching, it's not going to be ongoing things. It's just going to get you structured over a certain amount of time to be able to do this. Okay. So I want to now break down into a few things that I do in my business, how it looks in multiple markets, and how we can do the same for you. So I had, as I said in my last episode, I think there's like 2 or 3 ways to actually set this business up. Number one is that, and it comes down as well in conjunction with, time. Do you have time? Do you have money? And understanding where you fit, or do you have both? Because that's obviously the number one thing, because I'll give you the example that I did a little bit ago. I'm going to expand on that about having no time, right? You might have money to invest, but you're working 70 hours a week. Just had a call with a client yesterday who got actually a new job. They got, what's the word? When you get a better job, promoted, okay? They just got promoted in their job. They started working with me a few weeks ago. They got promoted. Now they're busier than ever, right? And our game plan that we had was we were going to set the system up, get leads coming in. They were going to work the leads, okay? But now that's not going to happen because they've got this now workload that they didn't have 3 weeks ago. So we've had to transition. So now what we're going to be doing is finding someone on the ground we're going to be partnering with. Then we'll build the system out accordingly to be giving someone else leads on the ground that you can JV with. And that's a situation that they are in. All right. So that doesn't mean, well, we can't invest and I don't have any time. You just need to put the right system in place to allow you to still make money. Yes, you're going to be taking less of a percentage. You're going to be partnering with someone, but again, 50% is better than nothing. I can't tell you. I've probably never done a deal on my own in terms of like start to finish. Whether it was me locking them up and handing them off, and locking them up and handing them off, or whether it was someone bringing me a deal and dispoing, because I'm a big believer in kind of partnering, collaboration, and because overall you're going to do more deals, you're going to make more money, right? And you're even going to do bigger spreads. There was one time in Phoenix, I had a coaching client from California who ended up getting a property in Phoenix, all right, and they bought it to me, and I could have moved this property for, I remember kind of the numbers. We got it for $80,000. I could have moved it within 30 minutes for $90,000. Okay, so $5,000 each, $90,000 ready to go. I spoke to a friend of mine who had a massive buyers list, and he sold it for $103,000. Okay, so we actually made like $7,500 or whatever. So we made another $2,500. Okay, by actually bringing someone else in the deal that had a bigger buyers list, an out-of-state buyer that wanted to pay more money. He got them into a bidding war, right? Which is really, really important to understand. So you got to think where I sat in that. Someone bought me the deal. I used my network, right? My connections. Say, hey, I got this deal with a client. What do you think we can do on this? And he said, well, I think I can get more than 90. I said, well, look, I want to make sure that my client gets the first share. Like I could move it for 10. I want him to make sure he gets 5 at least, and then anything on top of that, we can split accordingly to kind of 3-way, and that's what we did. So I just did a connection. I made $7,500 on that deal from someone bringing me the deal and me having the connection. Okay, so collaboration is absolutely key. Don't think it's competition. You need to network with everyone. The whole reason I called this company REI Network is because that is how I have made money, okay, consistently over the last 5 or 6 years in multiple markets. It's because building relationships, okay, and getting deals done. So I'm going to be helping you kind of break that down. And again, set these systems up from the CRM, pulling lists, skip tracing, hiring VAs for cold calling, hiring admin VAs, setting up, scheduling direct mail if that's what you want to do. Everything that you need for you to focus on making money is what we want to do. We've got to get you out the weeds, okay? Get you out the course. You don't need coaching, probably. You know what you need to do, but you don't have things set up. That's probably what it's going to be. And if it doesn't fit, then that's fine. Like I said, this is a short-term thing that we're offering and getting people ready for the new year. So go and check it out, ineedsystems.com. Looking forward to potentially working with you. And I think hopefully you got something from this episode as well for you to start really reflecting on where you are in your real estate career, and stop thinking that you can't do it. There's 24 hours in a day, and I know you don't want to hear this, right? I say the same thing about going to the gym that I don't do. There's 24 hours. You can work out. You just choose not to. You choose not to, and it's just not high enough on the priority list for you right now. And that's the same with your real estate business. Even if you're working full time and then you have kids and you've got to get dinner and you've got to do all these things, that's fine. The real estate, your business is just not high on your priority list, else you would make it work. And maybe you're saying, well, that's unfair because I have to, provide, for my family, and I have to go to work and I have to spend time with the kids and family, and you should. But after they go to bed, that's when you then need to dig in and do 2-3 hours or whatever it may be. You've got to be uncomfortable to get out of the rat race, unless you can set things up so things are happening while you're at work, all right? So while you're in the 9 till 5, leads are coming in. When you get off work, you've got your 30-40 minute drive home. You can be on the phone with leads sitting there ready to call. All these little things that's going to save you time to get to your to get to your goals, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. So I'm excited about it. Drop me a like, comment. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube, wherever you're watching this. I appreciate it. If you want any of my downloads, make sure you go to reinetwork.com/downloads. Go and grab them. We got some cool things coming as well. We're going to be doing a case study on a Maui deal. I'm going to be doing a lot more content on the deals that I personally do, where they came from, what lists, the structure, the follow-up. It's very important. 9% of my deals, guys, come from follow-up. I just spoke to a new client yesterday, and it's quite amazing. I love to hear that people do 2 to 3 deals, a month, and don't have any follow-up, because it just blows my mind. In a good way, because if you're doing 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 deals a month and without any follow-up system, then you should be doing 4 to 5, 6 deals a month over a period of time, consistently every month, by having a follow-up system, right? And that is just pure profit at that point. Most people run KPIs of, okay, I spent $1,000 or $1,500 and I did 1 deal, all right, and we made $10,000 and it cost me $2,000 to get it, so I profited $8,000. But what I need you to start thinking about is them leads that came in. How many did it bring in? 40 leads. How many deals can you do? Another 2 or 3 deals over 3, 4, 5, 6 months from that 1,500. And that's the key, because yes, you can. And that's how you're going to maximize your profit, by doing that. So taking that $10,000 that was an $8,000 profit from them leads that came in, but over 5 months, turning that into another $40,000, $50,000 from the marketing that you've already put in. But you have to have the system, to follow. And once you have that and have the process, then you are just working it. You can then duplicate it. You can go into more markets. You can do whatever it is that you want to do at that point. So hopefully that helps. Everyone needs systems, but you all need the right systems at the right time in your career. Depending on if you're scaling, you're trying to do your first deal, everything is quite unique in its individual way on how you want to set these things up. So it's going to be tailored, and I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy the holidays. When this goes out, have a great one, and I've got a lot to be thankful for. I'm sure you have too. So enjoy, and I will talk to you all soon. All right, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.